Okay, I've ran the Samsung Galaxy S8 as my daily driver for 2 weeks now, and as you can see, looking at the screen, there's not many apps on there, and the reason is because I've logged out and uninstalled a lot of stuff, and the reason for that is I have gone back to using my iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm going to talk about the reasons for doing that in this video. Now, as I said in the review video I did of the Samsung Galaxy S8, this is without doubt the best looking, the best feeling hand phone that I've ever owned. However, as I've also previously said, there's a lot more to iPhone than just iPhone. It's a lot more than just a device. The thing with iPhone is you are part of the Apple ecosystem, and for me personally, I find the Apple ecosystem to be a lot better than the Android ecosystem, and the apps that I use on iPhone to connect with the numerous devices I have work a lot better on iOS than they do on Android. And it's not just the apps for the devices I use. The devices I'm talking about are my Garmin Edge for my bike, my Garmin Phoenix, my watch, and my GoPro. The apps for these devices run far smoother and better than they do on iOS. I've had some problems with the Garmin app and the Edge on the Samsung Galaxy S8. It syncs the data no problem. It's when I try making some alterations to the settings on the device that I seem to be having some problems. But yeah, that's just the apps for my devices. I find that apps like Instagram work a lot better on iOS, and I miss a lot of the apps that I had on iPhone that you don't get with Android, and a lot of them are the Apple apps themselves. And as silly as this sounds, I missed having Apple News. I just like Apple News. I'm just familiar with it, and I know there's loads of other news apps and stuff like that, but I just missed some of the apps. I missed not having things like AirDrop. I missed not having things the way that iPhone syncs with other Apple devices automatically, like things like handoff, iMessaging. iMessaging was a big one. Using this device, I had to turn iMessenger off, of course, on the iPhone, but running a Mac, and then also not getting access to iMessenger on Mac. Your bookmarks, if you add bookmarks on iOS, they're there on Mac. There's just loads and loads of little things that I missed out on, and you can call me an Apple sheep, and you can say, oh, you've just been locked into the iOS ecosystem by Apple and all that, whatever. But no, if I wanted to, if I really wanted to, I could migrate to Android. I could easily do it. Things I use a lot. Another one is you get the Apple productivity apps like Pages, Numbers, Keynote. I don't use Keynote, but Pages and Numbers are a big thing to me. I use them a lot, and I miss out on that. Now, I know there's workarounds. I know Google do Docs and Sheets and stuff like that, but I just felt I was missing out. I just prefer the way iOS runs. Now, the main feature, of course, with the Samsung Galaxy S8, which is an incredible device, the main feature, Samsung have made a big thing of it, is the screen. And the screen on this thing is absolutely stunning. Now, sometimes, yeah, you do the crop in Netflix and YouTube, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out great, but that's not a lot. Most of the time, you know, I've watched films on this with Netflix. I've watched YouTube videos, and you know, no problem. The screen is brilliant, but the question is having that screen, does having that screen outweigh all the things I'm missing with iOS? The things that matter to me, the things I missed about having iOS, does having that screen outweigh all that? And no. The other thing is, and people go on about this a lot with Android, is the customization. You know, you can customize it and you can do all these things. Well, you know, so what? In the 2 week I had it, I think the only thing I did was maul about with the, you know, I put all my apps on and all stuff like that. The only thing I did was maul about with the edge panels, and I changed the colour of the clock, the format and the colour of the clock on the always on display. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do with it, but I just haven't bothered because that doesn't really matter to me. So does all the customization that Android and the Samsung Galaxy S8 offer outweigh the things that I'm missing out on with iOS? For me, no. The Samsung Galaxy S8 is, as I've said, a great device. But as I've also said, it's much more than just a device. It's the ecosystem. And I missed the Apple ecosystem. After 2 weeks, I missed it. And as daft as that sounds, I missed the Apple ecosystem. So I went back to iPhone. There's loads of other silly little things as well I missed out on. Silly little things which might not matter to some people, but they matter to me. Silly little things like this. Daft, silly little things like that. Now, yeah, I paired the AirPods to the Samsung, no problem, but you miss out. And as I've said, you can say that I'm locked into the Apple system and I'm an Apple sheep or whatever. You can say all those things. Whatever, that's fine. But I missed out. I felt I was missing out by coming away from the Apple ecosystem. So for me, it was back to iPhone.